Warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar on machine learning and its research perspective, conducted by Research Cell and IT Department. Speaker of the webinar is Ms. Jyoti Kukre. She is working as an assistant professor in IT Department of Medicaps University and has teaching experience of 12 years. She is into research for last 6 years. So I'll request to Jyoti ma'am to kindly start her session. Over to you, Jyoti ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ivana, and good afternoon to all. Today's my session is on machine learning and its research perspective. I am Jyoti Kukre, assistant professor from Department of IT in Medicaps University. So the content which I am going to cover is introduction to machine learning and then research perspective of machine learning and different domains. Right. So let us start first of all with what is machine learning actually. This term was coined by Arthur Samuel in 1959. This is the field of study that gives computers to ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. That means as a human being from a very childhood learns the things from the environment. Some training is given to it to a kid, some it is getting from environment, and thus learning in a dynamic environment. Similarly, we want our machine to learn itself by without explicitly programmed. As here it is written that learning is a process by which a system improves performance from experiences. As it communicates with different type of environment. It takes the experience, it takes the data and learn itself. Here the main thing is it have to improve its performance in some task with every gaining experience. So this is about machine learning. That means a machine have to learn in same way that human is learning from a very childhood. It is different from traditional programming in a way that in traditional programming, we want our computer to produce the output on the basis of the data and program, that means algorithm or software. When we provide some data to that software, it will be processed using that program, and then after processing, it generates output. But from machine learning model, we require that our model must learn itself, must program itself or generate algorithm which will be improved over time. For training, we will provide a combination of input and output pairs, means data according to its output level will be provided to computer or machine learning model, and it will generate program, means it will learn by itself, it will provide its own algorithm and improve its performance with time. um, what are the main, here are some main tasks of machine learning algorithms. Any of the task out of these 7 or 8 tasks, any of the tasks falling in anyone's research task, research work, then machine learning algorithm can be referred. That is why here I am giving the overall task that can be performed with machine learning. First one is classification, which gives assigns a level of anything of any class to any data. For example, if there is an image as input, then it contains either Greenland or water coverage, or if there is some explosive over some space, then it can find out the high explosive detection or airport security checkpoints or in any traffic condition. So classification is giving labels to the data. It can work for very small data also. For example, satellite images also in Android phone, we can see that it is classifying our data. Or for example, any documents belongs to sports or management or technical information, technical folder, these kind of class levels can be given. Clustering is one where the model groups the similar objects on the basis of their features. It clustered them together. For example, in our the new Android phones, smartphones, in our gallery, the on the basis of the person face or background, it the similar background or similar person, it group the pictures together in a folder. That is clustering. Then prediction or forecasting. Prediction is estimating outcomes for data. For example, traffic patterns at a busy intersection, retail demand prediction. So prediction is very important task of machine learning, which can be applied to any data which is maintained over time. And also forecasting, a prediction but which have some temporal data with it, that is amount of rainfall or weather forecasting, sales forecasting, earthquake, or predicting or forecasting any natural calamities like heavy rains, etc. Then any type of recognition, biometric recognition, is finding regularities in patterns. So in a normal or abnormal class level can be given to it after recognizing the patterns. So the recognition group or assigns the class levels or group according to features. Then computer vision, it replicates the powerful capabilities of human vision. It works through visual recognition like image classification, object detection, image segmentation, object tracking, like Face app works, or it also works in animation and gaming or robotics. It have a vast application. Then recommendation system or ranking, which predicts the ranking of a user. For example, how Netflix or Amazon Prime recommends movies to the users according to their past likings or ratings, or on social media the different products are recommended to different users. And then anomaly detection or outlier analysis, which provide identification of data points, events that are abnormal, that are not belong deviated from normal behaviors data sets. So these are the major tasks of machine learning, which can be performed in any of the domain, and we can opt machine learning to perform these much tasks. So I am referring to the ACM computing classification, uh, which says that computing methodologies can be classified into this much, out of which one is machine learning. First of all, what is computing? When a computer is assisted for analysis or processing of problems in any particular domain, which includes computers, include building hardware or software, processing, structuring, right, scientific study using computers, are computing methodologies. Then in this classification of ACM, there are these much classes of computing. First is artificial intelligence. Machine learning can be said as the subset of artificial intelligence, which is simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their actions. Then computer graphics, that studies method for digitally synthesizing and manipulating visual content with the aid of computers. Then concurrent computing methodologies, where overall computations is factored into subcomputations that may be executed concurrently. Then distributed computing, in which components of software systems are shared among multiple computers. So here all we can also apply machine learning. Then modeling and simulation is a mathematical model which contains key parameters of the physical model. Machine learning, we have discussed that here the way human being learns, we want to implement this learning, this automatic automation of improvement in machines. Then parallel computing methods, it is an architecture in which several processors simultaneously executes multiple smaller calculations. Means a complex problem is break down into sub problems and then it is computed. And then symbolic and algebraic manipulation, which is study and development of algorithms and softwares for manipulating mathematical expressions. So these are the categories given to computing methodologies, out of which machine learning is a very important methodology. According to ACM, the machine learning can be further classified into learning paradigms, learning settings, machine learning algorithms, machine learning approaches, and cross validation that we will discuss in next slides. First one is machine learning, which is as Hira stated before, that it is categorized into 5 subcategories: learning paradigms, machine learning algorithms, cross validations, approaches, learning settings, etc. So first one is learning paradigm. Learning paradigm is, states that how our machine is going to learn. As we are talking that we have to make our machine learn, so there will be some parameters which will be adjusted to learn, for learning, for training. Once the model get trained, then it can be applied to unseen data to perform the further tasks. So learning can be either supervised learning. This all learning paradigm changes, means these all supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement and multitask learning have difference of the data, how the data is provided. There are some models which will have different kind of learning. Supervised is one in which there can be the data with input and corresponding output pairs. That means the desired output according to any data point, any features set of any data is given for learning, and on the basis of this learning, learning of these class level corresponding to some input patterns, new unseen data can be classified accordingly. Supervised learning have two types: classification and regression. Classification is one in which output variable is category. For example, a given mail is spam or not, or a given object is blue or red, or any image of fruit is either belonging to apple class or orange class. There are some category, then supervised learning is classification. Or when the output variable is continuous, for example, weight, salary, or house price, these all are regression type of supervised learning. What which is same in both is the data for given for training is have output corresponding to any input data for training. Then unsupervised learning is one in which the fed input don't have the labeled response. Means we have only data, no corresponding output variables. So what will be the goal here of training? The goal will be the model have to learn the underlying concept of data, and on the basis of similar features, on the basis of similarities in the input pattern, those data are clustered together. This will make a cluster, and those cluster will be like I have given example that in our phone, in our smartphone, in gallery, the pictures of same person is clustered, is grouped, or is kept in one folder. And in similar environment, if similar background is there, buildings or grounds, those will also be categorized similar. So it will make cluster according to similarity of input. Then there is reinforcement learning, where the model learns through rewards or penalty. It won't, the model don't have any desired output in or class level in training data, nor it have to cluster it. It have to learn using the reward it is taking from the outer world. For example, if anyone is writing any blog, so how many views are on that particular blog, or how many likes or dislikes are there, according to that the blog will be continued. Similarly, according to the rewards or penalty taken from the outer environment, reinforcement performs the classification or clustering task. Then multitask learning is one where multiple tasks are solved at same time while exploiting commonalities and difference across tasks. This improves efficiency and prediction accuracy. So these are the learning paradigms where the environment or the model will learn according to data sets and models. Then there are learning algorithms. There are so many learning algorithms which can be followed for making a model for our desired task. So machine learning algorithms in supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. With that, it can be belonging to this any of this learning algorithm. First one is classification and regression trees, in which the model perform the classification according to the nodes of trees. Every node will be a decision checking on the between the intermediate nodes, and the leaf nodes will be the final decision. So this is how the classification model of any tree, for example, decision trees, performs classification. Then neural networks is one in which our human brain is to be replicated. As in brain, there are so many neurons, cells, which are interconnected with each other, takes input, process it with at every neuron, and then further forward it to next neuron. Similarly, this architecture we want to implement in our models in artificial neural networks, where it will be there will be so many neurons, that is processing elements, which will be connected with each other, and that will process the input from input layer and generate output at output layer. There can be multiple hidden layers. Number of hidden layers increases, these neural network turns into deep learning, what is a boom nowadays. Then kernel methods are one when the data is not linearly classified or clustered. Then these kernel methods are used to map this low dimensional data into high dimension, so that it can be processed accordingly. Markov decision process is one in which it is done, the task is performed in random and controlled manner, controlled environment. Then rule learning is when we define so many rules, that is a part of artificial intelligence also. We define so many rules for performing tasks, and following these rules, the task of classification can be performed. Logical and relational learning, likewise, a human being applies logics and relational to the external environment or past data, it performs learning. Similarly, here it will be performed. Then learning in probabilistic graphical models, as the probability performs a vital role in so many statistical models, the learning can be performed using prior probabilities, conditional probabilities, or posterior probabilities. Graphical models like Bayesian belief networks can be used for learning of data. Then learning linear model is one where the data can be learned in low dimension. The dimension is one, we can call it as a feature, or if we have data set in a tabular form, then the columns or the attributes of the data is known as dimension. Then bio-inspired approaches, there are so many approaches in biological natural way, like evolutionary computing, which is inspired from biology, genetic algorithms, bee colony or ant colony optimizations, so many of dynamic optimization methods, which is inspired from biological processes. So these are learning algorithms. Then machine learning approaches. These approaches improves the model performance. For example, dynamic programming is one which breaks the complex problem into sub-problems and perform optimization. Markov decision process performs learning in random and control environments. So this combiningly provide a better accuracy for machine learning models. Ensemble method is one which combines two or more models. For example, random forest, which uh, combines so many decision trees, and on the ensembling of different classifiers, the accuracy, the performance of model increases. Then spectral methods, which are powerful methods to solve differential equations, and computing depends on entire domain rather only neighboring points. Because we need so many mathematics, so these spectral methods help in learning of any machine learning model. Feature selection is one through which we can select the relevant feature for our classification task. For example, while swiping a credit card, it generates about 8,000 attributes, 8,000 features of any data set. Means that swipe will generate 8,000 features, including longitude, latitude, everything. But all the 8,000 features cannot be used for that swipe classification for fraud or not. So we want to have some selected features, relevant features, which can be used for our machine learning model task, either classification or clustering. So important feature selection methods are needed so that our model can perform well. And then regularization, again, it is included into regression, which reduces the square error or which reduces the error, classification error, which can cause because of error in data set. So these are machine learning approaches. And now the research perspective of machine learning and in different domains. As machine learning is very powerful tool which can perform the human intelligence, we can replace the which can replace the human intelligence in any of the model. So we can apply the task we have discussed, like classification, clustering, prediction, forecasting, these much machine learning tasks in any of the domain. First, these are the domains I am going to cover: agriculture, computer science, civil, electrical, mechanical, and then medical and pharmaceuticals. First, machine learning in agriculture, because agriculture plays very important role in all of our lives, and it is important for ensuring food securities, and millions of food is losses because of mistakes. So to improve productivity and quality of food, we can have machine learning in agriculture, which can perform different tasks. So first one can be yield prediction. There are so many papers and research going on in predicting the yield of different crops for a year or for next some years. What will be the yield of any farm? Wheat, rice, potato, barley, etc., which can be done with the help of sensing technologies like proximal soil sensing, prop sensors, satellite remote sensing. These kind of sensors can generate data, and we can perform yield prediction task using machine learning models. Then crop quality. There are different IoT based approaches which collects data for crop quality. For example, drone images can be used to detect the crop quality, or DNA based technologies. The DNAs of plant can be observed, can be taken as data, and this data can be given to machine learning models, which can then define the crop quality, which will be very important for ensuring the food quality, further food quality. Then disease identification. If any plant is diseased or not, like for example soya bean or wheat plant, is there any disease on the plant? Because there is so many efforts put by farmers. So if there is any disease, that can be treated before time. Manual identification of these diseases directly on the plant or through the images is time consuming, and need of labor is more. But nowadays we can apply machine learning models, like collecting data from IoT sensors like soil moisture, temperature, humidity, which can collect the data, also gas sensors that can detect specific odor. And on the basis of this data, machine learning model can predict that there is disease in any uh, plant or not, and should the pesticide should be sprayed in the farm. So this can before time prediction for disease. Then weed detection. Weeds are the unwanted plants which affects the crops, vegetables, lawn, flowers, etc. So images of cameras of field can be classified into weed or needed plants. So uh, the data taken from different images, for example, unmanned vehicle, aerial vehicle like drones over the field can take the images, and on the basis of those images, the plant can be classified into the relevant or the weed, and according to needed measure can be taken. So on the basis of like this here, the object will be identified, the plant will be identified, and it will be classified accordingly. Much, and there can be more applications or research in agriculture field. The next is machine learning applications or research in computer science and information technology. Let us first discuss virtual personal assistant. These are assistants which can make ease of life for human beings. Nowadays, users can ask their assistant to control home automation devices, media playback, emails, to-do list, calendars, web search, etc. Smart and intelligent assistant is need of the hour. It can ensure security of personal information also. Example, we can see Siri, Alexa, Google Now, Amazon Echo, Dragon Go. There is lot more scope of research for different language translation like Sanskrit or any Indian language, Hindi, which can be more efficiently performed using communicated using virtual personal assistant. Then computer vision and video surveillance or image surveillance. As for security, there are so many CCTVs around, or cameras are there, or unmanned aerial vehicle can be there. But manual surveillance on the basis of real time video also is a tedious and time consuming task. It can be applied in theft identification or violence detection in any part of city, or chances of explosion, catching the criminals, and all abnormal events can be classified using real time video feed. Deep learning plays a vital role in processing real time image and video because it is faster. There are configuration of system also required for this, but it extract the features itself and perform better classification tasks on real time images and video feeds. Then facial or voice or any biometric recognition system, recognizing the person with either face recognition or voice recognition or other biometric like fingerprints, iris recognition, leads to so many applications for managing digital devices or in security as an important task. So these kind of recognition system can make the human life easy and more secure. So next is software engineering, which is very vast in itself, because there are so many phases of software building like designing, then programming, requirement gathering, then development, implement, testing, and maintenance, etc. In each of the field, machine learning can be applied. There are enormous scope of research in software engineering with machine learning. For example, code reuse, reverse engineering, or requirement acquisition, software development and management tasks. It can identify the customer behavior, so better services can be offered. So many scope in software engineering is there using machine learning algorithms. Then cyber and information security, as there is so many information nowadays and which are vulnerable to attacks. And social media also we have so many information. So there are so many security mechanisms, but while combining that or while driving it with machine learning, it will be more accurate uh, for us, like intrusion detection, detecting attacks, frauds, spam filtering, cyber attack prediction. This all predicting before time can be very utilization for a human being. Then networking, because networking and distributed system are the key infrastructure to provide computational resources. Machine learning can help in network design, workflow, network operation, management, traffic prediction, routing, classification of congestion control, resource and fault management, quality of service management, network security, service optimization, and lot more areas in networking are there, which can be easily drive using machine learning approaches. So this is translation, networking. The next one is IoT. Internet of Things is again a recent boom in CS and IT technologies. Here, different devices can communicate with each other. They themselves make them smart. But detecting poisonous attacks can be used with machine learning. In IoT, meeting resource limitations or embedded learning for IoT device can be helpful using machine learning. IoT with machine learning leads to more efficient or intelligent applications like traffic profiling, device identification, device security, computing infrastructure, and network management may lead to uh, good applications of IoT using machine learning, like in defense or in space. So there are so vast applications of machine learning combining with the IoT. Then information and cloud security have again enormous applications where many information and security mechanisms can be applied to this information. Machine learning can train model using network traces obtained with some experimental environment, and according to that, it can detect intrusion, abnormal or normal behavior of any node or user, so that a good prediction or recognition of what is going on can be taken care. Then smart operating system. In any devices we are using, like mobile phones, laptops, desktop, we have operating system which manages resources as well as provide interface to users. We know that in correct Android phones, as I said, it groups pictures accordingly or according to the similarity of person or background contained, or provide virtual assistant which can provide tour of complete system or can search web for us. For ease of use, there can be several tasks, like keeping relevant files, deleting unused, or generating health notification, etc. can be the task of smart operating system, which can be performed using machine learning algorithms. For any deaf or dumb, is any impaired person, this kind of operating system can be added and can be very useful. Then in civil engineering, if we discuss, there are so many applications because there is rapid growth in urban areas. So we need intelligent device to build the critical infrastructure of smart city. While we talk about smart city, we need good administration and management of the smart city, which may be done using machine learning models, where the input can be taken from different sensors or cameras, and on the basis of this collected data or collected input, it can be applied to machine learning model for healthcare of smart city citizens, energy transportations, education, safety of citizens, sustainable smart cities, urban government system, and maintaining so many green environment or traffic discussion of the smart cities. So there are so many applications in a smart city. Then traffic detection and classification. Traffic detection, because there are so many places where traffic congestion happens, and because of that, so many time of people get wasted. So if we predict the traffic at any time, or through cameras at traffic signal or some checkpoints, can predict us the traffic in upcoming hours, tracking it or classified it in either congested or not congested, or counting the vehicles or the traffic on the road. So this kind of system can be very helpful for easy going transportation. Then predicting the severity of earthquakes or any natural calamity like flood, hurricanes, tornadoes, volcanic eruptions, storms, tsunamis can be done effectively using machine learning algorithms. As machine learning algorithm need training, and for that the data is needed. So the data collected from past experiences according to environmental conditions, the data is given for training, and then this collected data can be given the model to predict the severity of any natural calamity like earthquake. For earthquake, seismic parameters is needed so that earthquake magnitude can be predicted, and using machine learning algorithms, which can be very helpful to save human life and resources. While manually doing this takes very much efforts and it is a tedious task, machine learning can perform it easily. Next is machine learning algorithm application in electrical engineering. Before that, also in civil engineering, there can be bid prediction for highway constructions or design of highway and transportation of or designing of tall buildings, having wind opening in those buildings. This all can be predicted. The design of this infrastructure can be predicted using machine learning models. Or like highway constructions, where is the current need, planning or designing, decision making, crash prediction, load prediction can be done using machine learning models. So for any smart city or any smart and intelligent work of the infrastructure, machine learning models can be applied. Then machine learning in electrical engineering again have so many applications. Few are here. First is signal processing. Signal can be either audio or autonomous driving, image processing. It can be in variable technologies, communication system. These all are tasks of signal processing and more. To model and analyze the data representation of physical event is a core of digital world, and processing these signals to carry out the correct meaning and predicting the events can be done with the help of machine learning. Like in NLP, natural language processing, we need that the speech signal should be out of proper modulation or something, so it can be converted. Because if we talk about virtual personal assistant, so it will be better if we give it to the same pitch of the sound. Then fall detection at any place, if it is predicted in before, then it can save so many efforts or so many injuries can be saved. Then load balancing and load forecasting of energy to avoid energy crisis, because there is variable electrical load requirement and increasing load requirement day by day. Here it is the need to forecast the requirement of load, and on the basis of past uses and database, this can be done. The fault can be predicted before time. The load requirement can be predicted using machine learning model, which may help in significant improvement of remaining useful life. An internal magnetic sensor can help in it. So next is power quality analysis. To minimize the risk of lost production and damage to electrical equipments, power quality used to monitor a system for problems. Power quality can leads to a proper life of the equipments. It may find cause and initiate a corrective action using machine learning model. The unusual events and proper power conditioning equipment can be done with machine learning model. Then end user consumption pattern analysis. How many energy is consumed at any user level or corporate level according to fulfilling their needs. So these patterns can be analyzed for a better uh, way of of running the energy. Then grid power integration and power distribution. Power grids where new and modern technologies are integrated. For example, solar and wind grids are integrated, and then the energy is distributed over the different plants. So this can be done in smart mechanism, which can be achieved using machine learning algorithm. So many tasks, so many research is going on these area to combine these energy patterns of electrical engineering with machine learning models. Then there is application in mechanical engineering. For example, self-driving vehicles is a very boom nowadays. Tesla and so many companies are working on it. So how this self-driving vehicles can be done? It is only with the help of machine learning models. In self-driving vehicle, there are so many sensors. For example, camera all around. There are audio sensors which or there are cameras which senses the traffic lights. According to it, it takes the decision how to drive the car. A classification model is used to identify the obstacles in front of car, or a regression model is used to take to maintain the speed accordingly. It can find out the wear out of any car device subpart, which can also be predicted. So there are machine learning allware in these self-driving vehicles, through which it can be a efficient application for impaired person. Then unmanned aerial vehicles, which can be aided with a camera to take the pictures, as we have seen in civil engineering, to take the images or to catch the criminals, or around the city if we have to check for violence or anything. So or in campus also we have to find out the discipline or cleanliness of the campus. So these kind of mechanical devices can be aided with machine learning models. Also, these kind of vehicles can reach there where human being cannot reach directly. It so here machine learning can be useful. Then predicting tool failure, temporal vibration data, which is collected over the time, can predict the mechanical tool failure. um, Taking predictive measures or maintenance measures before time can lengthen the age of tools. Then there are predictive maintenance. to which is useful for performing finding the performance of thermal power point, heat transfer devices, thermophysical properties of modeling it. So these are very useful where we can apply machine learning models. Fluid mechanics, which is very useful in any kind of flow control, gas or water, and are everywhere of us, have very much applications of controlling and optimizing these fluids automatic using machine learning model, which can be helpful in industrial process. Then again, thermal engineering, so many applications are there which can maintain the plant accordingly. Sorry. Then in medical and pharmaceuticals, there are vast applications as disease identification or diagnosis. On the basis of symptoms, the machine learning model can predict for a particular disease, which may take so many time to be done manually, but machine learning model can process these information uh, properly, efficiently, and even faster if the data for given for training is all correct. Personalized treatment of behavioral modification or monitoring can be done with the help of machine learning model, so that before time the treatment can be given to a person, or it can be monitored properly with the help of sensors, pulse rates, or blood pressure, or sugar in the blood, or heart beats can be sensed, and according to that any machine learning model can predict or can suggest or recommend for a doctor visit or something, so that the life can be saved timely, or the treatment can be started timely. Then drug discovery is a very big applications of machine learning nowadays, because any new drug to be discovered, because there are so many diseases which are traveling inter country very fast. So uh, developing the drugs for such a disease manually is a very long time. It takes very long time. It is a tedious job. It takes to develop a new drug, it takes either 4 to 5 years through all clinical trials and everything to determine the drug components. So using machine learning models, the drug can be manufactured or discovered before time, means uh, given the past data, symptoms, and the components of drugs, new drug for new disease can be made faster. So these are the applications of machine learning and medical, or there are the research scope of machine learning in this medical field. Then what can be done for further? In our university, there can be initiation of multidisciplinary projects, because these are very efficient and very useful need of the hour, that multidiscipline, like self-driving car, where we are merging mechanical and machine learning together, or in energy distributions, there can be multiple disciplines on which the student and faculty can work together interdisciplinary, so that it will give us more good projects for the society. And designing courses of applications of machine learning, merging with other domains, other technologies, as an open electives as we can offer, or for this we can invite FDPs and HDPs for more activities in the merging of these fields, and special interest group inside the Medicash University can be formed, so that these kind of interdisciplinary machine learning tasks can be performed. Till now, we have so many projects like surveillance and object detection using real-time images and video taken from drone. and applying it for discipline checking or cleanliness of the campus can be identified. Then drug discovery, as we discussed, that there can be so many applications where we can predict the drug components for any particular disease or any new disease. Then disease predictor according to symptoms, if the new disease can be predicted using machine learning. Music generation using machine learning, these all projects are ongoing or have been done in the university. Then IPN match winner prediction using machine learning. As we have seen, then where there is data, there we can apply machine learning for prediction or recognition task or classification, clustering, these much tasks. So nowadays, because we have so many data around and through social media or through smart devices, there are so many data is generating every second, every minute. So if we have data, then we can apply machine learning algorithm and can analyze those data and can find out the meaningful patterns, meaningful decisions can be taken using machine learning. Stock price prediction and analysis, e-blood management using machine learning, smart operating system, weather forecasting, and many more applications is being developed, which is interdiscipline using machine learning. So thank you. This is about machine learning and its research perspective in different domains. If you have any query, then anyone can ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Any student or any faculty has any query may come up. You may raise your hand, so I'll be unmuting you. There's one feedback link in the chat box. All those interested in the giving the feedback, please give your feedback. Also, certificates will be issued through that feedback. Yeah, this one Pramod sir is there. So I'm unmuting you, sir.
Jyoti, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. It was a nice presentation, Jyoti. Thank you. And it's
Thank
very
you,
good
sir.
presentation and very informative.
Thank
I have
you.
a small question related to it.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me any domain where the machine learning is not being usable?
Any domain where machine learning cannot be used.
Where machine
Right.
learning cannot be used? Yeah.
Sir, where we can have data, we can collect data. Those all field where human intervention is not possible, like space or on the hills like Himalayas, if there are so many plants which are useful. So if we can collect data there, we can apply machine learning. Where it cannot be applied, it may be the thing where we cannot collect or gather data.
Okay. So what you were trying to say is something, there is no domain where you cannot use.
Pramod sir, being
Yes,
a senior faculty of computer science, you want to convey anything to the students and faculties. You
yes,
may
sir.
convey through your question whatever you want to say.
Yeah. No, this is a question for them also. No, for
Yes,
them it
yes,
is good for having all those things to be looked at.
yes.
Is there any such possibility being there where as a domain we cannot use machine learning?
Yeah.
And students can think about in one more thing related to something of, when we speak about machine learning, it's been all about artificial intelligence. Okay. So will it be there any of those area of artificial intelligence where without machine learning or excluding the machine learning part, any other which can be used there in for learn the machine? That is another one question. It can be very much thought about. We are speaking about machine learning. Machine learning would be considered as the subset of artificial intelligence,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes.
So when it's been subset of artificial intelligence, and is there any of that which would not come under machine learning, but it's been part of our artificial intelligence, would be there useful for us too, in the case of learning the machine? or
Yes, sir.
teaching the machine? Is there any of that?
Sir,
Then another question which they can have, they can think over it. Yeah,
yes.
maybe one more thing, last one. Another thing
Yes.
which they can think over is, will you going to consider that programming is comes under machine learning?
So developing these
That's another
logics.
question. Let they all,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
better than you answer all this, let the students think over it.
Okay.
Because,
Okay, sir.
that would be giving a better understanding while they come up with a conclusion on that.
Okay, sir.
So, they can have all those being explored. Internet is one of the biggest universities for them. They can have all those things to be looked at in different answers so that they would get a solid idea about it, what is machine learning. And yeah, they could have some more learning about the different tools which can be used. I think that was missing. That could
Yes,
also
sir.
be one of the ways so that they could start with. Otherwise, it was fantastic and I really enjoyed by being with your presentation. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So we have other participants also. There is Dr. Sarita Kansal.
Thank you, Vibha madam.
Ma'am, thank you.
Jyoti Kukre madam, you have given a very nice presentation.
Thank
It
you,
is
ma'am.
very informative as well.
Thank
I
you.
would like to ask one thing. You have said that without data, we cannot use machine learning. Is it so? Is there any
Yes, ma'am.
algorithms which we can use without data as well or not?
No, ma'am, because it needs training. As human learns with training with external environment, it collects the data. Similarly, machine learning before performing any task needs some training, and training can be done with the help of data. It is very it is in starting of 20th century it has been proposed, but as there was not so much data, that is why it is not being applied. But nowadays we have so many data, that is why we can apply in past 2 or 3 decades we are applying machine learning everywhere, because now we have data with us. So it needs data for training, and after training it will perform a task for us.
And how much it will be reliable?
If we have relevant data of our domains, means what we have to predict, we have given it a relevant data, then the accuracy can be good. For example, taking an example of self-driving car, if we are giving it a proper training with all the obstacles, either it is a human being or a pole or a truck or any other vehicle, so it can identify the obstacle in real time. But if we are not given it training, then it cannot make any decision at the time, and it may lead to accident. So if we are providing a good training to our model, it will give us better results, better accuracy and performance of the model.
Okay, thank you, Jyoti ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, Ronak Kothari.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. First of all, I want to say that it was a very helpful webinar for all of us.
Thank you.
And secondly, ma'am, my question is that what is the difference between machine learning and data mining?
Okay, these are similar terms, but in machine learning we talk about the learning of model. In data mining there are a lot more different stages also to refine the data. When we have to apply different algorithms for learning of data, then it comes to machine learning. It may be a sub part of data mining or data science approach, through which we can work in different domains for classification and clustering and everything. Okay, Ronak.
Now it's Mayur.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
It was a very wonderful session which
Thank
provided
you.
by you.
Thank you.
My question is, sometime before, Dr. Kansal madam asked you regarding the data. So I am asking regarding the data, that the question is, how do you handle missing or corrupted data in a data set?
While working with machine learning, there are some refining of these data. If there are we have to make this data set relevant. Means if there are some missing values, then we have to predict the value, or we have to put the value there, or we have to remove that data point. We have to do some
Jyoti ma'am, you're not audible. Jyoti ma'am, you're not audible. Dear students, there is some issue at Jyoti ma'am's end, I suppose. And
hello.
ha, Jyoti ma'am. So
Ma'am.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't find what is the error. But yes, as Mayur asked, Mr. Mayur, there is so many data pre-processing techniques through which we can handle this corrupted data or missing values through data interpretation, through which we will be refining our data set and making it useful for machine learning models so that it will be performing good. The accuracy will be better. So yes, there are techniques for data pre-processing.
So hope so. Mr. Mayur has got the answer. Now it's Sarthak, IT roll number 76. You may ask the question.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Sarthak.
Ma'am, actually, my doubt was that as these things are growing quite rapidly, like internet and everything is getting quite connected. So it also makes them more vulnerable to getting hacked. Like if we see there are electric cars all around us, their systems are all connected. So that make them more vulnerable to being hacked quite easily.
Security is the major concern.
Yeah, sorry.
Security is major concern in any of the such domain because the data is very openly available. These are vulnerable to attacks. These kind of attacks to also be predicted so that the efficiency of the working of any model or any such thing like cars will not suffer. This data is also, and there may be more scope further for this so that we can predict these type of attacks on this data, right? So machine learning models can be used to predict these kind of attacks on new attacks and can deal with such kind of attack intelligently.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, Janvi, please ask the question.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, I was studying a course of AI. There was an example which said that a automatic car have everything like machine learning, AI, and data mining. I didn't understand that what is the use of data mining in the automatic cars.
Data mining, why? Because there is data sets everywhere. Means machine learning is also working on data, and data will be mined through the environment. This it will learn according to the data. This data which has been mined have to go through several steps so that it will be ready for learning through machine learning models. And even when it is the environment where the real-time data is getting for the response, here it also required some kind of mining of that particular data and then performing decisions according to machine learning models. So all the things are important. Artificial intelligence, as sir asked, other than machine learning models, there are some decisions which to be taken like planning, understanding, that will be that will come under artificial intelligence. So these all together can make a good performing model. of machine learning. Right?
I think so. The question is answered. And Nair sir, do you have anything more to say, or is the earlier hand raised? Yeah,
I just add one
yes,
thing. I just add something for
yes,
that query which has been asked.
yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
You know, when it comes to that new cars which is introducing into the market, there are so many different cars nowadays getting introduced into, and many of those cars, at least 150 sensors are being get connected with. At least it will go beyond that always. Okay, so number of sensors getting connected for each of those different things, parameters related to the car and its movement is being getting increased day by day. So what is important there is of having this data all being getting accumulated and having this all the data get accumulated in split of seconds so much in, so that all the data to be properly managed. So how do we manage all those data? There are different ways it can be managed. One through edge computing. You might have heard about the edge computing and telling the students, when it's been something, some decisions which has to be taken right from there itself without having any time wastage over. And some of those decisions can be a relaxed one, which can be, which can have some kind of, time relaxation. So the decisions which has to be taken without any time delay, such kind of things to be taken from the edge side itself, where the decision would come from the car itself. So what is important is at every now and then, while you have the data being accumulated, all those data is being properly looked at by or monitored by, and having the right pattern, whatever the pattern is searching for is also to be taken out. And so when you come to having data mining, you are simply doing a kind of mining, as by making sure of what is not necessary is being kept away, and what is really required is to be taken out. So while you're doing that, what is very important is what kind of algorithms to be used over there. When we speak about algorithms, machine learning comes into play. When you speak about data and how that things to be taken out, data mining comes into play. Okay, so machine learning algorithms are being the algorithms which will teach the system how that to be done as by based on the available data in their hands. So this is why these all things are being coming together. And one of the other questions which is asked over there is related to artificial intelligence. So when we speak about artificial intelligence, as we have discussed little before, artificial intelligence actually comes there as a superset of machine learning. Okay, so whenever we speak about artificial intelligence, machine learning would be there in part of it. While we deal anything with machines, that machine learning would do there, and it is a subset of artificial intelligence. Hope you got the answer.
Thank you very much, Nair sir. It is so humble from your end that you supported us with such wise suggestions and
It's my
informative
pleasure.
suggestions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Nair sir.
I don't think so any more queries are there, so we may end herein. So thank you very much, Jyoti ma'am. I'm very much thankful to you for your informative session on machine learning. Machine learning being such a vast topic has been covered very well by ma'am in such a short span of time, mentioning all its applications. So thanks a lot, ma'am. Research Cell aims to enhance research activity in the university. So such webinars will be conducted so that beneficial products can come in and also benefit for the society. Extend my gratitude towards HOD IT, Ms. Vishali Chore, for her giving her support in conducting this webinar. I'm thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor of Medicaps University and Registrar Medicaps University for their kind support and guidance. I'm thankful to all the participants, all the students and faculties for attending this webinar. Hope you have found it useful. Extend my thanks to Ms. Payal Somani and Mr. Surikant Soni for their support. So thanks a lot, all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.